Hey everybody, we are going to look at the Meopta Meostar. This is actually the Cabelas Euro version. And we're going to talk through why this is pretty much my ideal spotter for many reasons. We're going to show you some footage, how we use it from archery to elk hunting. Also, we're going to talk through other models that we have looked at and why I landed on this one. Meopta is unique, so they're not as well known as companies typically like Vortex or Leopold. Cabelas contracted with Meopta for this spotter, but it's Meopta who made it out of the Czech Republic. The same with the Nightforce TS82. And then the Meopta version is the Meopta Meostar. Jumping into specs, we're gonna make this quick because I wanna show you guys footage of this spotter. It is a 20 to 70 zoom, so it has a really wide range. The eye relief is good enough to where even on 70, I can actually use it without getting my eye all up on it. And so that's great. It is heavy. It's a full-size spotter, 82 millimeter objective, but with a full-size spotter, you're also gonna get really good low light performance. And I just really am impressed with this, and I carry it even though it's heavy. I was using a track Torque before, 27 to 55, and I actually really am liking this straight. I don't know if you guys have ever tried a straight spotter, but I'd be curious if you have. I'm pretty much converted to straight, especially after trying the Maven Compact and then this. I'm really digging the straight spotter. Now, the only downside that I found was I had to get a taller tripod to stand in glass. Other than that, I'm super happy with it. I'm gonna stick with the straight. That's the specs on the controls. One thing I really like about this is just the zoom itself. It is super smooth, no slop. There's kind of a gritty knob here. The focus as well, it is a barrel focus, just really smooth. Overall, the eye relief, everything is premium on this spotter. You can tell that it is built like a tank, that it's gonna last, and they did just a really great job with that. So that's the specs, kind of the controls, but let's get over to the view. Now, this is with an iPhone 13. I typically video on 1080p, 60 frames per second. Some of these might be 4K, but keep in mind that this is coming off an iPhone, and that is limiting a lot of the footage. But what I have noticed is from videoing like on a Vortex Razor or a Tract, the Tract to the Meopta, even with the phone, you can tell a big difference. This is kind of the main content for today. Wanted to show y'all the footage, what we're looking at. I'll talk you through it so you can really just see the spotting scope. So this is the Meopta. This is actually at about 1,500 yards on our elk hunt. One of my favorite shots, seeing this herd go over. This was on our scouting day. Just really cool, and it's amazing how much detail we were able to see even this far away. This was us doing some long range shooting. This is about 600 yards, and so you can see the impacts with the spotter and the bullet trace. This was at TAC actually this year in Broken Bow, and so this ram was at 52 yards. So I'm zooming in here. You can just see the detail. It's just amazing how close you can get. And it was really fun just to watch everyone shoot with the spotter. Here's another target. This was 51.5 at TAC. This was really cool. This is about probably 300 to 400 yards on a leftover tag 2 years ago. We were able just to watch this bull for a while, and just super cool. The detail, I think this really shows the detail you can get with the Meopta. was cool seeing a fox. This was pretty close actually, probably about 100 yards. And he was just looking around in the snow. So I always wanted to try this, but I was able to see Saturn's rings with the spotter. This is full 70 zoom. And then here's the moon up close, just crazy detail. Okay, now for some comparisons. This is the Vortex Razor on some mule deer, a couple hundred yards away. As you can see, it looks pretty good. There is definitely not as much contrast, the detail. It's not the same as the Meopta, but overall gets the job done, and gotta love mule deer. This was a nice whitetail buck, about 600 yards away with the Vortex, so pretty cool here. Here's another shot with the Vortex. Loved this lighting. So looks good. Again, lighting does play a big factor here. Here's the Athlon Chronos. This is very similar to the Vortex Razor in my opinion. I thought the colors were a little bit better, but the glass quality felt about the same. This was actually a scouting trip in the summer, checking out some elk, and this is probably a mile to a mile and a half away. This is a mule deer coming in super close. This is probably about 100 yards away with the Cronus. This one was fun. This is a West Texas hog, just tromping around, thinking that he owns the world, but big old hog. This is the Maven, the compact spotter. So this is the S2. This was about 400 yards away. It's a pretty good detail there. That tree is about 1,100 yards away with the Maven, and then zooming in. I did like that Maven, the compact spotter. Moving to the tract, this is about a 50-yard shot on a rabbit, 115 yards with the tract. This is on 55 zoom on the tract, looking at the moon. So the tract does look pretty good. All right, that's a wrap. I hope that footage was helpful. Again, the goal is just to let you guys see what it looks like. Let me know, have you guys tried this spotter? Do you prefer angled or straight? Have you had the actual Meopta version, the Nightforce version? I'd be curious. Have you compared it to some of the top, the Swaros? Have you tried this compared to something like the Maven? What were your thoughts there? I do think it's one worth looking at if you want to get the absolute kind of premium glass that you can get at reasonable ranges. So let me know if you have questions. Thank you guys for stopping in, and we'll see you on the next one.